You wake up. It's pitch black. You try to move. Your body won't respond. Wood, pressed against your face. You try to scream. Nothing comes out. And then you hear it. Your mother, crying, above you. This isn't a horror movie. This isn't fiction. This is Angelo Hays, 19 years old, France, 1937. He was declared dead by 3 doctors. His parents buried him in a sealed coffin. 2 days later, he was still alive. And what he did after he came back from the grave changed how the world buries people. Forever. Saint-Quentin-de-Chalais, a small village in southwest France. Population, barely 1,000 people. September 1937. The world is months away from war, but here, life is slow, quiet, forgettable. Angelo Hays is 19 years old. He works on his family's farm, wakes up at dawn, goes to bed exhausted. He has one obsession: his motorcycle. A red second-hand machine he saved up for 2 years to buy. He polishes it every Sunday. He rides it through the countryside like he's flying. His mother begs him to slow down. He laughs. His father does something else. He takes out a life insurance policy. 200,000 francs. A small fortune. Just in case. Angelo doesn't know about it. It's September 1st, a warm afternoon. Sunlight on the fields. Angelo kicks his bike to life. He waves to his mother. He smiles. It's the last time she'll ever see him smile. The road is empty. Angelo opens the throttle. The wind hits his face. 80 kilometers an hour. 90. 100. Then the turn. He sees the wall too late. The bike skids. Angelo flies, head first, into a brick wall. The sound, unmistakable. His skull shatters. 17 places. His face destroyed beyond recognition. The first man who finds him vomits in the road. The doctors arrive. 3 of them. They check his pulse. Nothing. They check his breathing. Nothing. They look at each other. He's gone. 3 days later, Angelo is buried in a sealed coffin. His parents aren't allowed to see his body. His face is too disfigured, too horrible. His mother places a single rose on the wood. The dirt falls. The world moves on. But 6 feet underground, Angelo is about to open his eyes. Imagine it. You open your eyes. You see nothing. You feel pressure on every inch of your body. The air is thick, stale, heavy. You try to lift your hand. It moves, barely, 2 centimeters, then stops. You touch wood, above your face, below your back, on both sides. You realize where you are. You try to scream. Your throat is raw, broken. The sound dies before it leaves your mouth. You hear nothing. No birds, no wind, just your own heartbeat, hammering inside a wooden box. You try to remember. The motorcycle, the wall, your mother's face. And then the truth hits you. They buried you. Your own mother, your own father. They cried over your body. They paid for the coffin. They lowered you into the ground. And they went home. Because they think you're dead. You start to do the math. The air in a sealed coffin lasts maybe 5 hours. If you panic, less. If you breathe slow, more. But you've already been here. How long? You don't know. You can't know. The darkness doesn't care. You scratch at the wood. Your fingernails break. Your fingers bleed. The wood doesn't move. You start to pray. Not to live, to die quickly. But above ground, something strange is happening. Remember that life insurance policy? 200,000 francs. The insurance company gets suspicious. The accident, too convenient. The policy, too new. They send an investigator. He arrives in the village 2 days after the funeral. He demands one thing: open the grave. The family refuses. They beg him to leave their son in peace. He refuses to leave. September 6th, 1937. 6 men, shovels in hand. The coffin is lifted from the dirt. The lid is pried open. The investigator leans in to examine the body. He freezes. Angelo's skin is warm. A doctor is called. He places his hand on Angelo's chest. A heartbeat. Faint. Slow. Almost impossible. But there. Angelo Hays, declared dead, buried, mourned, is still alive. A deep coma had slowed his breathing to almost nothing. His body needed so little oxygen that the air in the sealed coffin was enough. For 2 days. He was rushed to a hospital. He had surgery after surgery. His skull rebuilt. His face reconstructed. And against every law of medicine, he woke up. Angelo Hays survived. He went home, to a village that had buried him. His mother fainted when she saw him at the door. His father couldn't speak for 3 days. Angelo became a celebrity in France. Newspapers called him the man who came back from the grave. People traveled across the country just to touch his hand.
But Angelo wasn't celebrating, because he remembered every minute of those 2 days underground. The darkness, the silence, the wood pressed against his face. He couldn't sleep without lights on. He couldn't sit in a small room. He couldn't stand the smell of fresh dirt. So he did something no one expected. He became an inventor. And he spent the next 20 years building one thing: a coffin. But not just any coffin. His coffin had a radio transmitter, a food locker, a toilet, an oxygen tank, even a small library. It was designed for one purpose. If you wake up inside it, you can survive. You can call for help. You can wait to be found. In 1974, Angelo demonstrated his invention at a fair in Saint-Olay, France. He climbed into the coffin himself. They sealed him in. They buried him. For 30 hours, he stayed underground, this time voluntarily. He came back up smiling. He had turned his nightmare into the only weapon he had left: a promise that no one ever would die alone in the dark like he almost did. Angelo Hays died in 2008. He was 90 years old. He spent 7 decades above ground. But part of him never left that coffin. Here's the question that should keep you awake tonight. Throughout human history, before X-rays, before heart monitors, before stethoscopes, how many people were buried while their hearts still beat? How many woke up to wood and dirt and silence? How many scratched at the lid until their fingers bled? How many screamed in the dark while their families walked home above them? Sleep well tonight, if you can.